guys, welcome to a new episode of In Other Words with Danielle and Zara.
So this is a podcast where we talk about a wide variety of different subjects, from hustle culture to boundaries. So in other words, we talk about all the things. Okay, so we have a new tradition that we'd like to introduce on the podcast, and that is listener questions. So every episode we will take one listener's question and answer it. And this week's question is from Sasha. Do you want to play that for us?
I will.
Hey Zara and Danielle, I had a question for you both, and that is, if you could be friends with any person from the Bible except for Jesus, who would you pick and why? Thank you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Danielle?
No, you can start with this one.
All right. So there are two that I can think of. The first one is just obviously Paul. Just apart from him writing the New Testament and everything he went through and literally helping build the church, I just want to know what the thorn in his flesh was.
Oh yeah, that's a good
just
point.
out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I do have a feeling that Paul and I would butt heads because I'm so much more soft. He got to the point, and that scares me a lot. And I think the person that I'd really want to beat is Mary, Jesus' mother.
That's true.
How when you're 14, and I mean that was a normal age to have kids, but still you hear this news and you are shunned by society and you're just the whole process, and then raising Jesus and then watching him die. I don't know, I think she must have been a lot more. I have the feeling that she was a lot less meek and mild than Christmas carols like to describe her. So I'd love to meet her just to understand her personality and stuff. I'd be friends with her.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, if you think about the different gospels, right? I mean, Mary probably had a huge role to play in all that information, because how else would the people that wrote it known those things? I didn't really know who to say for this at all, but I think it would be cool to speak. Who wrote Revelation? Was it John? I think it would be cool to speak with him.
Be what the
heck? What happened there?
Sounds like he was on drugs and he was writing it. Obviously he was not, but
you're okay. And then I don't know who else. I mean, realistically, it would be cool to talk to Paul, but I know that he would irritate me. No offense to Paul. I appreciate your work, my dude, but
I get you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So today we are going to be talking about trends that don't make sense / we are not supporters of. And not all of them are trends. Sometimes it's just things that are popular in pop culture. So I'm excited. I hope you guys listen and enjoy. This is a very light-hearted podcast, and half the time we'll be ranting along, but you can just join us for the ride.
Indeed. So I think we can start with fashion stuff. And now I want to preface this by saying that it's always more important, in my opinion, that you dress according to your personal style rather than trends.
Yes.
If you like a specific trend that either of us mention, then please wear it.
Yes.
If you like something,
disagree with us. We love it. We want to hear.
Exactly. But the whole idea of trends in fashion especially is pretty dumb.
Yes.
We spoke about that in our consumerism episode.
Indeed.
But anyway, my first one that I have is big clay rings. And now this is all of a sudden gotten really popular, and I've seen it mostly on TikTok. And I just don't get it, because they're just very chunky, and I'm how can you move your fingers?
And you can't even wear rings.
No, I can't. I can't even wear normal rings. So the idea of having this huge, big, colorful clay ring just kind of freaks me out. But then I also have to say that I think it's also maybe a little bit endearing, because there's always been a rise in this kind of childish kind of fashion.
Yes.
In the sense people are wearing beaded necklaces and chunky, cute, colorful rings and all that. And so I'm you know what, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't really get it for myself. I do like beaded necklaces though, I do
My
think.
mom, when I was younger, wore a pasta necklace that I made. You know the pasta ones you make at school, and it's I painted it green and she wore it. I'm that is the definition of love. I would never do that.
No.
For my child. Okay, then my first one was knee-high boots.
Yes.
So they're usually quite a heel, and they go up to your knee, well, just above your knee.
Yeah.
And I'm just
how's it comfortable?
yeah. How do you walk?
I know I could never wear it because my legs are too short and...
Imagine my calves.
Yeah, it would be disastrous.
In those.
Disastrous. I have seen, though, people wear, like, boots that come up to just below the knee, and that's, to me, just
Seems
makes...
a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference, I think, than wearing things that go over the knee. I don't really get it. But, I mean, some people rock it, so good for them. But I would never.
Yes.
The next one... I just bumped my mic. My next one that is coming back, and I can't stand it, is low-rise pants. I'm sorry. Like, we've had... Low-rise pants honestly just don't look flattering on anyone, I'll say, in my opinion. If you think you look flattering, then I'm sure you do. But for me, like, you don't even need to wear something that's super high-rise, but just something that's, like, mid-rise. Like, that is nice. But I'm like, I've yet to see someone who wears low-rise pants, and I'm like, yes, that is the best.
Personally, I struggle to wear non-high-waist things now.
Same.
Because I just feel like I want to pull my pants up all the time.
Like, this is wrong.
So yeah, I'm very much with you on that.
Yeah, and it's also just sad to me. And now this is a thing now, like Y2K fashion is coming back, right? Mm-hmm. And fashion has always repeated itself, but at the point where we are in our globalized world, in our very fast-paced world, it's repeating much faster.
Yes.
It's like we've just had 90s fashion, now we're going into 2000s fashion again, and it was like that was literally last year. And what the thing is, when we looked back 2 years ago at Y2K fashion, we were all like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. And now all of a sudden people are buying it again. And I just know in 5 years or maybe even shorter, people are going to look back to this year and say, I can't believe we did that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get you. Okay. Now this was a thing when I was in primary school, and I've been informed that this is a thing that is coming back. Mm-hmm. Lumo.
Yes.
Why the heck? Like, I'm trying so hard not to offend people in this podcast, so please just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
But, like, why do you want to look like a highlighter? And, like, my favorite color is yellow, but, like, sunshine, mustard, not highlighter yellow.
I get you.
I
really just get flashbacks to grade 7 discos.
Right! Me too. Oh, so sad.
So funny.
And JJ's was the place to be.
Oh my gosh, JJ's, those lace shirts.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. My next one it's not to my personal taste is athleisure. And like, there's nothing wrong with, wearing leggings or whatever, I don't care. But where you always look like you're about to go on a run, like, to me, it's just not very fashionable. But if that's what you want to wear, then cool. But to me, I don't like it. No. Like, if I see someone walking past, I'm not going to be like, oh, I feel so angry that you're wearing athleisure right now. But I just don't understand why that is what people always want to wear. And then people also like just go out wearing sweatpants and tracksuit tops all the time. And I'm like,
I love tracksuit. Okay.
No, for the house.
Hoodies, not tracksuit
tops.
Yes. I love
That's like a thing.
Do you remember those velvet
yes. Also coming back.
Oh no.
Also coming back. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Mini bags. And like, listen, I have small bags that are sling bags, but when you have that tiny little bag, like around, like it literally sits right under.
Yeah, it's just not functional.
What do you put in there?
And it's like, at least with the sling bags, you can kind of reach in like very easily and just grab out your phone or your wallet. But with these bags, you have to like take the whole thing off and then dig through. No.
Yes.
That's just a big mission to me.
I had a Barbie one like that when I was younger.
That's cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is anything with a brand name all over it. And it's like,
just in case you missed it.
Yeah. And like, I don't care, some clothes will have, Nike or Adidas anyway.
Yes.
And they'll have that like one thing on it, and that's fine. I can understand. But then you get like, those designer brands who put it all over their thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, if you're a designer brand, you're supposed to look, smart, but you kind of look tacky, in my opinion.
I know exactly.
And I don't really like it.
I agree. A lot of brands do that. Yes, I'm also more of the understated type. And then onesies. Like, everyone loves their onesies, and they're all about winter. And listen, I'm always cold. And like around Christmas time, everyone in the family has a onesie. And I'm
not
just
in South Africa, surely.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking
okay,
like,
America.
Yes, America. But that's uncomfortable.
I drink too much water to wear a onesie. way too much.
I just don't have the energy. And like, imagine it's freezing and then you have to take off this whole thing to go to the bathroom.
I would just feel very claustrophobic, personally.
Yes, same.
My next one is platform flip-flops. I really don't like them.
I've seen some people in it and it doesn't look so bad, but I don't like it.
But that's the thing, like with all of these different trends, like people can wear them and look really cool, but as a trend itself, I don't really get it. Like I don't understand why that is the thing that becomes popular.
I feel like it would be uncomfortable with a slip slop,
exactly,
with a heel.
I also think so. Anyway,
true.
Real.
I have none left for fashion, so I do. Just give it to us.
Okay, the next one are plastic heels, and by that I mean, you know, where the heel is like clear plastic, and oh no, it's so gross. And then especially if it's closed toe, then like it gets all steamy inside there, and you can see that. No, thank you. And then I also had the small shoulder bags, and then the next one, kitten heels. I think that's what they're called, where they have like extremely small heels. But it's still like a high heel, but like the heel is teeny tiny.
It's like thin.
Yeah, and like
how do you walk in that?
And like short as well.
Comfortable.
And I'm like, if you want to wear high heels, wear high heels. If you want to wear flats, wear flats. You can't go in with no. It looks awkward. I'm sorry. And then the next one, which to me makes no sense, is fake freckles. And like, I understand people want to get the sun-kissed look, but I'm like, why would you just draw freckles on yourself? And most of the time it doesn't look real. So
I think freckles are like so cute.
I also think so, but I
like,
have to.
If you're born with them, you're born. Like if you're born with dimples, it is. But imagine going to get plastic surgery to get a dimple.
That's wild to me.
I'm gonna Google and see if that's a thing.
I'm almost 100% sure that's a thing.
Everything's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are our fashion not liking stuff. Should I actually just use that
not liking stuff? Yes. Shall we go on to entertainment / celebrity stuff? You can start.
Okay. The Real Housewives of everything. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know, like there's a difference.
Is it a reality show or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's literally women who are married to rich men and they're in this very like socialite environment and they basically just talk behind each other's back.
So fun.
So I haven't invested enough time to like be able to tell you the detailed storyline, but like there's so many of them, like Real Housewives of this and that and that and that, and also I think there's like a Real Housewives of Joburg now.
I think there is. I was just about to say that.
And like, listen, I can bash reality TV, like, but I've also done my fair share of reality TV show watching. But for me, that's just like catty and not about it. I don't get the huge craze.
Oh, there's so many dodgy reality TV shows.
Oh my goodness.
And like, I know a lot of it's just really guilty pleasure. One thing that really rubs me the wrong way, and I don't even think it's sort of thing anymore. It might be, I don't know. Toddlers and tiaras.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Terrifying. The fact that there are people like that terrifies me. Anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so my first entertainment one is where shows or movies just blatantly insert like very politically correct things when it has nothing to do with the story.
Yes.
Because like there's a right way, like there's a good way to do that kind of thing. Like, you know, if you try to raise awareness about something or, I don't know, try to be more inclusive.
Yes.
But then when people literally just put it there.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of stuff. Or like where characters just really say this extremely wise stuff that doesn't actually match up with the rest of the dialogue.
Yes.
If you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's kind of dumb and I don't like it.
Yes. And I think like what makes a statement for me is when it's weaved into the storyline.
Yes.
And it's just something to add to the person. Yes. Because I think just in the same ways, like it's better when you have like a holistic person, holistic storylines. I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of like just being shoved in your face unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So I 100%
exactly. And it actually becomes just more performative than anything. Because I mean, these days, a lot of people want to see those kinds of things, but then shows are kind of like, oh, like people pay to watch this, so here we are, here's just this random storyline inside this movie that makes no sense.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, then mine is the romanticism. Is that the word?
Romanticization?
Yeah, romanticism is like a period.
Yeah.
Okay, romanticization of like mental illness, specifically like in the younger generation kind of thing. I don't know, it makes it seem like romantic, and if you want to hear more of this, I think I spoke about it in our mental health series. But for me, that really just irritates me. Like, and also this idea of, I don't know, we have this great mental health revolution where everyone is like, talk about your mental health, talk about mental illness, but it also sometimes can be very, I don't want to say cringe, but like so in your face, and then you begin to question like,
is
the
it even
authenticity
real?
of it.
Exactly.
So,
and I think in the same vein, a lot of the media glorifies addiction. And I've seen that a lot, like drinking, smoking, taking drugs, all that kind of stuff. They make it seem like this really cool thing to do.
I felt that in high school. Like, really? I felt like I wasn't a cool kid because I wasn't like...
I didn't feel like that at all.
I mean, I wasn't insecure about it, but in my mind, the cool kids were the ones like doing that stuff.
I was never interested at all. But like, when you just see movies, and I'm thinking particular of Euphoria, and I really enjoyed that show personally. But like, the show itself is like really beautiful, and I don't necessarily think its purpose is to romanticize, you know, drugs or anything like that, because they definitely show the dark side as well. But you know, like for teenagers or young people who don't really think a lot about that kind of stuff, they could be watching this and be like, oh look, they're having such a good time at the party, and they all look really cool in their glitter makeup and all that kind of stuff.
I guess
so. Is it worth it? I don't know. And we both have this one, but it's just remaking everything.
Oh my gosh,
every single movie that has ever existed is just being remade or made live action.
And they are actually, like, a lot of shows now are based on books, and it's like there's so many books out there. So many books to find a new story. Like, they're rebooting Gossip Girl, and I also think,
like, what can you do with Gossip Girl even more?
Yes, and I also think like it's all about diversity and inclusivity, but again, like, I think that might be like just forcing it a little bit. Like, you can come up with a new story and stuff like that, and like, I think it's weird to reboot things so soon. You mean like reboot something that was made 50 years ago?
I keep on knocking my mic, I'm sorry if you heard that.
Reboot something that was on TV 50 years ago, not something that was on TV 5 years ago. So I'm just I'm tired of it. And also, and I mean, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but like these live action films and stuff, specifically like Disney, I'm just like,
I have seen some nice live action. I didn't enjoy the live action Lion King.
I didn't watch
it. Was just kind of weird because the animals didn't really have facial expressions, so it's kind of like it's kind of weird. I really enjoyed the live action Jungle Book though. That was really good.
I don't know, like, I like the animation, like the old school animation, the music was on point.
It'll never replace the originals, that's for sure.
Yes, I will say that I'm looking forward to the Little Mermaid live action, but that's purely because of Lynn. Shout out to Lynn, who's probably definitely just listening to this podcast.
100%. I think one thing I won't be opposed to, and I don't think they'll ever do it, but if they make like a Harry Potter series where each book is a new season or whatever, but then each chapter is also an episode. Because I feel like with the movies, I really enjoyed the movies, but especially later on as the books got thicker, they left out so much in the movies that were actually really important in the books.
I don't know if
I think it would be really cool.
I don't know if I'd be into that.
I think you would if they actually did it though.
However, if this is so insulting, but I know a lot of people think this, if they could just hire and cast a Harry and a Ginny that have chemistry.
Please. Please.
When they were kissing, I felt like it was brother and sister.
Literally.
Anyways, moving on.
I think it's you next.
Okay. TikTok dances. I'm not about them. Like, there are some really good ones, and like, I think it's cool, like, learn a routine. But there are these ones where it's like,
it's literally just moving their hands.
Yes, and it's all like cheerleady-ish. Like, sometimes very like sexual, and like I see young girls doing this and I'm not okay with it, and it's not like I'm being super judgmental or anything, but like realistically
it's dodgy,
it's harmful, like, to put that stuff out there.
TikTok is not a safe space. No, it is not a safe space.
So all these little weird dances. Why?
I think like you as I mean, I'm on TikTok, but I mean, I don't really see dances because that's not the kind of content that I'm really interested in. But every now and then I do see some dances, and they're like really cool and people are really talented.
Yes.
Like when talented people come up with dances on TikTok, I'm like,
I love dancing.
Wow, that's so cool. But then like I remember there was a time where people were doing the WAP dance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what it stands for, but I'm sure you all know. And then like they were like, I don't care if you are a grown woman, a grown man doing the dance. You do you. I personally do not care. But when there's especially underage girls doing it, I'm like, bro, please think about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Okay, the next one that I do not like is Mumble Wrap. Like, I don't know where this came from. I don't know where it came from. Because rap, I don't mind rap. It's not like the most thing.
Avid Hamilton lovers.
Exactly. It's not the thing I listen to the most at all, but I don't hate it. But when you can't hear the words being said to you, I'm like,
I know.
Okay. You do though.
90s rap was like the best. Yeah. Okay, then twerking. I don't think it's as big of a deal now.
No.
I think Miley made it a thing. But it looks very uncomfortable and unflattering. And does it feel good when you twerk?
I think a lot of it's like culturally, I think the twerking dance was like fairly significant. I can't remember to which culture, but could be like African American or Afro-Latino or something like that, where it was actually like a legitimate cultural dance. Not in the way like Miley Cyrus did or whatever, but you know, it was like incorporated in like into that thing, and then Miley obviously took it, cultural appropriation, you know, that kind of vibes. So I don't like, and I think in that sense, like it's cool. Some people generally can just move like that, and I'm like, how do you do that? But other people look incredibly uncomfortable doing it, and I'm like, are you good?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
So I'm just not a fan of that.
My next one is this weird trend that has been going on forever, but it's where like people just want to hate on female celebrities for literally everything all the time. You know? And I'm like, we can all relax, because I agree. A male celebrity can do the exact same thing, and you won't get the same hatred.
It's very true.
It's very silly. I don't know, it's a patriarchy.
Okay, then another dance move that I just don't get is dab. It's not even a dance move. That's just like a thing people do.
I think do people still do it?
I
hope not.
I hope not, but I just never got it. It looks
I remember there was such a time in 20
flossing. I just thought of that as well.
Oh, but that's fun though.
No, it looks so
Can you
dumb.
do it though?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe.
If you can do it, then it's just fun. It goes with any single.
Oh,
it goes with any single song.
There was another dance move that I hated. What is this? The
pump your fists.
Where you do it with your leg as well.
Oh, the shooting.
I don't know what it was, but that looked dumb too.
Yeah, that's.
So I'm hating on these dancing things, but I love dance.
It all depends on how you incorporate it into a routine, I think.
agree.
But dabbing, I really don't understand. It literally looks like you're sneezing.
I know.
I distinctly remember in like 2016.
Preparing us for COVID.
That's true. But there was.
Pathetic dance.
Do you remember the gathering camps, right?
Yes.
Those
are our church camps.
Yes. So 2016, we went to like the promotion event for it. I think it was 2016 or 20. I'm pretty sure it was 2016. And then that was like the height of dabbing. And the whole time people were just dabbing. And I was like, what is happening over here?
And you know that era, I just thought of it. The bottle flip.
Yes.
Like
so weird.
I get.
Yeah.
I find it weird the things that trend actually.
Yes. Same.
Like you think of that and I remember, damn, Danielle.
Yeah.
And it's just like realistically.
How did this happen?
How did that go viral? And
I know.
the girl that was so retail mom.
Cash me outside.
Like how
she's famous now. She's rich.
How does that catch on?
I don't know.
It's bizarre.
I think
make no sense.
People just find weird things. Or things that shouldn't really be popular and then just make it popular just for fun.
How?
But anyway, my last one for entertainment is this thing now where anytime that there's a major world event or some social injustice happening anywhere in the world, and then people want celebrities to speak about every single one of them. And these celebrities are literally people who like sing or act,
that's what they do for
or whatever, and now they must become experts on a certain topic. And like I just feel sorry, like especially when people were asking celebrities to comment on the whole Israel-Palestine thing, and like that is a difficult conflict to like understand.
Exactly.
And
even for people who are more politically informed.
Exactly. So like expecting a celebrity within a few days to go and read everything and then post like a beautiful infographic or a beautiful tweet about the specific situation, or like any situation. It's like, should they be doing that? Like, they could literally be causing more harm than good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I think especially something I've seen is when a celebrity posts something like something that's close to them or is just getting involved in the hype, and then they are criticized for not talking about something else.
Yes. It's so weird.
As much as celebrities put themselves in that position, a lot of people just like singing, or
exactly, it's not that deep for them.
No, and I just think, like, I don't know, you can't, we've spoken about this before, but you can't like expect these celebrities to just be these political social heroes. And I also just think, like, I mean, you think about us and, like, yes, we have a podcast, but there's a lot of stuff that we'll talk about that we won't put out there. So I think,
like, we don't know enough about it, or like,
yes,
it would just not be wise for us to do that.
Exactly. So I just think it.
Exactly. And I used to think that I'd like to know, like, what people that I follow thought about certain things. But now I'm like, I'd actually rather not know.
Yeah.
I'd really rather not know, unless you know a lot about the situation.
Yes.
Then, like, maybe you can share your views. But other times I'm like, I don't know. It just feels a bit dodgy to me.
Yeah, and I just, we can't expect that of them. And realistically, you're going to put something out there and people are going to criticize you.
Exactly.
So, like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
No, exactly. And it's like, you can literally comment on something that someone has asked you to comment about, and then people will be like, but you didn't speak about this other thing that also goes with it. And actually, that's a really problematic stance that you just took. And
problematic, that word is problematic at this point.
So problematic. Anyway.
Cool. Okay, so I have a couple of more entertainment things. Oh, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Beyonce. Now listen, she's Queen Bee, and I get it. And
yes.
like,
she's made a name for herself, that's for sure.
And she's brilliant, and like, she has a very like commanding presence. And but I just feel like since maybe like 2012, I haven't enjoyed her music. And it's all about the hype. And I don't know, I find it difficult. Like, even guys, I'm going to start talking about him every podcast, Ben Platt, like, quote unquote worships Beyonce. And I'm like, there are just a lot of very talented people. Like, I don't know, like the Beehive. It's like, I don't know, she just seems over glorified to me. I don't really understand.
I mean, a lot of celebrities have their very dedicated followers, but I feel like Beyonce's followers in particular are extreme when they come to their worshipping of her. But I mean, she's very talented. Like, I love her voice is brilliant, incredible,
and I will jam to Crazy in Love any day.
I don't really get the whole thing behind it. Before we continue, I just want to remind you to follow us on Instagram, in other words, _podcast, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Anchor,
Please.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
All the places.
All the things.
Okay, so continuing with entertainment trends, I will just say cancel culture. Go listen to our episode on cancel culture. A whole thing. I don't understand.
And that goes like hand in hand with expecting celebrities to speak out about everything.
Yep.
But it's also like, if they choose not to speak out about something, then people are like, well, I know where you stand then.
Yes.
No, you don't. You don't know where anyone stands.
Exactly.
I think one thing that's quite weird to me, although I do get it, is the whole celebrity promotion of vaccines.
Yes. And I spoke a little bit about this in our previous, one of our previous episodes.
Like, I don't know, like Dolly Parton, and like, I like Dolly, she's sweet and she's lovely.
She's so cute.
And like, you know, like speaking about vaccines, or you should take the vaccine, or like Elton John or Olivia Rodrigo going to the White House.
White House.
Bizarre. These are weird times.
When Sophia Bush, because she also, but like she literally went to Parliament, and she's someone who's very politically involved. So like, for her it would make more sense than an 18-year-old.
Yes, but I suppose that's why they did it, because they want the younger audience to like listen. But it's just weird to me that in a time where we have like literal scientists who are saying like, guys, like, you can take it, it's fine, but then they need celebrities to go and be like, hey guys, it's fine, you can take it.
Yes, it says a lot about society. Yeah. And then, guys, YouTube, okay, like, I get it, there are some YouTubers that I genuinely like, but like, I personally don't get the hype around the specific types of videos. Number one, what I do in a day Nah. Number 2, what I eat in a day. No thanks. And number 3, try on hauls. Like, sometimes clothes are nice, but like to watch like a half an hour long video of people trying on clothes, maybe I'm just not into that. But
I only watch like daily vlogs or whatever of certain people, because I find what a lot of like YouTubers do is they have what I call boring vlogs. And
there's so many, and they like get a lot of views.
And like it's like where they do nothing. So they say, all right guys, I'm going to Starbucks now, and then they come back, but like they don't actually film themselves going to Starbucks. And then they come back and they're like, got my Starbucks, I'm going to eat lunch now. And then like they don't even like show themselves eating lunch. And I'm like, what are you doing?
But even like, I don't know, I don't think I'd enjoy watching them at Starbucks or at lunch either way.
No. There's 2 YouTubers in particular who I really like, and that's Nana Florence and Moya Mawini. And they both do like weekly vlogs. And what I like about them is that they kind of just make everything look beautiful, if you know what I mean. So it's not like these weird vlogs where it's just the person talking and like, I'm going to eat my lunch now, that kind of thing. But like they like show scenery, and their editing is beautiful. So it's like actually entertaining to watch. But with most daily vlogs, I can't.
I think that would kind of make me feel bad about my life though, because it always looks so glamorous.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with those two in particular, they're always like,
it's not cringe.
Yeah, and it's not like everything is perfect in my life right now.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
I get it.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm obsessed with watching like ladies tell their husbands and stuff that they're pregnant. So I can't really be the person to judge. Okay, then last 2 things. Number 1, young adult fiction is not for young adults, because I'm a young adult and that is for teenagers. So
yeah, I was reading young adult fiction when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But it's also like, should I have been? Probably not. But did I enjoy it? Yes. So
it's just weird. But I suppose it depends on what you classify as young adult.
That's true.
Because I'm going to be a young adult until like 29.
I'm going to be one until I'm 40. So
alrighty.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, and I think this is getting a bit better, but I don't know. It's the way specifically men are portrayed in dramas for the most part, where the bad guy always gets the goal. And it got to a stage, and I haven't finished this movie, so like call me out, maybe it's my fault, but I was watching a movie called One Day with Anne Hathaway and some guy.
Oh yes, I watched that the other day actually. It's so sad, dude. Okay.
I got halfway through the film and I was like, this guy just goes around sleeping with every girl, and
he's the worst.
He treats her terribly, and then like he has a girlfriend, and then he goes skinny dipping with her, and he's like, why don't we just have a fling?
Yeah.
But like I know for a fact that like the movie's about them and like how romantic it is, and I'm like, girl, please, like, not that I believe in cancel, but cancel. And it's like we love them, and I'm just like, no, we don't. And like I was a huge Chuck and Blair fan from Gossip Girl.
I never watched Gossip
Girl. But like
Girl.
there was a stage where, and a lot of people will like remind others of this, is where he almost raped her.
No.
And I'm just like,
Why would you do that?
But we love him. Yeah. Anyway, so that, and then also like movies coerce you into wanting someone to end up with like someone other than their spouse. It's like, I'm engaged, but here like I meet my college sweetheart and like we reconnect, and it's like the heart wants what it wants, and I'm like, listen, you made a commitment,
like just break up with them first before you do anything, please.
Yes. I just, and you want it
I know, because you made to feel like that.
And I just think if that happened in real life,
you know what movie is so problematic, what's it called?
Not Hardly Sky.
No, he's just not that
into you.
Oh my gosh, that's okay. I'm not even going to give a spoiler because it's an old movie, but like
I love that
Scarlett,
movie though.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it, but like where
That
Scarlett
one storyline.
Johansson has an affair with Bradley Cooper, who was a married man, and like obviously he literally sucked for doing that. But what really rubbed me the wrong way was that ScarJo, she actually doesn't like to be called that. Sorry, Scarlett Johansson. Her character was speaking to like her work friend or whatever about, she met this guy, but he's married, and then her coworker was like, well, I had this friend and she met a married guy, and then like he left his wife for her, and now like they're soulmates, and she's like, oh yeah, that could be a thing for me as well. And I'm like, no, don't do that. You're not soulmates with a married man. You're not. You're not. Ridiculous.
No. So that's dumb.
Another thing, you were speaking about men in movies. and this was really common, I remember, like especially in Disney shows, but like I'm sure it's also common in like other series, where the father is always portrayed, or like the husband is portrayed as the stupidest man alive. Like he does not have a single clue what's going on.
Peppa Pig. Peppa's dad.
I have never watched this.
Peppa's dad is so dumb.
I don't know. And I'm like, why are all these men portrayed as completely useless? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like maybe some real life men are, but like anyone can be useless,
yes,
regardless of your gender. So
I agree.
Anyway.
Okay. Do you want to carry on?
Okay, so I'm going into more like social stuff now. I think one trend, well, it's not really a trend, but it's something that's really common, and it's for sure been common throughout like all of human history, but I feel like it's really common now. It's where people will demonize anyone if they believe anything like slightly different to them.
Yeah.
And like this is a legit thing. Like if you think about the whole, you know, pro-life, pro-choice debate, and like those labels in themselves are like weird.
Yeah.
But you know, people on the pro-choice side will be like, oh, pro-life people, like none of them care about the mother, and like none of them want to adopt, they're all about controlling women's lives. And I'm like, there are people who like genuinely care about these things. Then on the other side, people who are more on the pro-life side will be like, pro-choicers just want to kill all the babies and they don't care, they just want to kill unborn babies. And it's like, there's nuance.
Yes.
You know what?
I agree. And I actually, even I think as a Christian, like I'm not happy with how we are portrayed in the media. And listen, this is also going to be controversial what I'm about to say, but I think because of how much harm certain churches have done, like people are so closed off to Christianity, and it's to the point where like you almost need to hide that you're Christian or not make it blatantly obvious. And another thing I was saying to Danielle that's always bugged me is like it's a very American thing to say, oh my God, and like I don't know, we've been raised in a culture here where it's like that is blasphemy, if you will. But again, like it's very much an Americanism, and I can deal with it, like rewatch it or whatever. But the saying, like, and this is very British now, is Jesus Christ being used as a swear word.
I know, it's weird.
For me, it's a bigger deal because I'm like, well, that's my savior kind of thing.
Because like also God in itself, like if you're not Christian, God can literally mean anything, but saying, Jesus is Jesus.
My God.
Exactly.
I'm like, your God is a different God.
It's not my God.
But I just think the issue for me further on is if anyone else's name were used other than Jesus Christ in this cancel culture world or anything like that, it would be horrendous. Like imagine someone said, ooh, like Allah or whomever.
Yeah, like that's just not said.
No, and so it's for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't like it either, I will be honest.
As a Christian, like I have very firm, strong beliefs, but like the last thing I want to do is offend people or like demonize people or like shut people out. Like
that like defeats the whole point of being a human
as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get you.
Cool. Do you want to go next, or was that your other one?
Manifesting.
I don't get it either.
Here's my thing, like I'm all about positive mindsets and all of that, but a lot of people are just all about like putting things out into the universe, and like to each their own, but it's almost to the extent where it's like super unhealthy, and like it's like if you say this then it will be.
I know.
And I'm like, well,
I'm way too skeptical for that.
I am married to Jonathan Graff.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Listen, it's not going to be. So, yeah, I don't know. And you might be saying, oh, but you believe in God. I feel it's very, very different. So I'm all about being positive and all of that, but like this idea of putting things into the universe, like people who take it super seriously, and it's a craze, it's quite big at the moment.
It's a huge thing.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, I'm like very skeptical when it comes to these things, and I'm skeptical even with things that come with like Christianity and all that. Not that I don't believe that God can do miracles, but oftentimes I'm like, that seems a little bit
something
sus to me.
Very judge,
but like, to what extent are you manifesting something versus working towards something? You know what I'm saying?
And we can actually do an episode because there's a lot of like conversation around the book The Secret.
I haven't.
By Rhonda something. I could be very wrong, but we should read it together and then chat about it, because cool. It can be very dangerous.
Cool. My next thing is this weird thing about sharing fake news. And it's not necessarily a trend, but it's a huge thing now. And
everywhere,
I don't know, just the fact that people don't even bother to like look to see if something that they're sharing is right or not. And sometimes it can be difficult because, you know, people put up differing opinions and all that kind of stuff. But like to share something that is like seems objectively true, and then like I can just go Google it and be like, hello Google, is this true? And then it'll say that is not true.
Yeah, this
I'm like, why would you share that then?
Yes.
And I always check to see if something is true or not, because it is, for me, it's so embarrassing to share something fake.
Yes.
So embarrassing.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then I think this is actually my very last thing, and then you can end off with skincare.
I shall.
But parties for everything.
I know.
And I mean extravagant parties. Like, I'm always one for getting together with friends, and I miss the days where people just had dance parties because I just want to dance without needing to like go to a sweaty club. But like bachelorette parties have now become it has to be a weekend getaway.
Really?
Yes.
Who's got the money for that?
Exactly. And then like you have gender reveals, and it's this big party, and like
I don't understand gender reveals, full stop, no offense.
It's just like, we need like engagement parties are weird for me.
I know.
Like, let's have a party because we're engaged, and then
I was like, but the wedding, surely that's like the whole
another
celebration.
thing, and this is super tradition, but like, what exactly is the point of a rehearsal dinner?
A what?
A rehearsal dinner.
A rehearsal dinner.
Like, it's just dinner before the wedding, but like we can have dinner at the wedding. I don't know, guys.
I don't get it either.
But
I don't think I've ever been to a rehearsal dinner.
No, you're not, because
you're not American.
No one, no, they definitely exist, but no one close enough to you.
But I've also never heard of like anyone that I know. Like I know like a few people who've like gotten married recently, and I don't know if any of them have had. But it's still like a weird thing to me.
Yeah, like, why is it called rehearse? Are you going to rehearse
the whole wedding?
Yeah, your vows.
You know?
I don't know. But like, people just look for excuses to have a party, and
that's true.
But like,
fair
extravagant
enough.
parties.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but it's also like, it's so much money.
Yeah, why?
You know what I mean? So much money.
Like, gender reveals, personally, I think are a little lame. But like, if you want to do them, but like to the extreme, I'm like,
don't set a fire, please.
Yeah, please don't.
Foolishness.
So not a trend I'm on board for, and I think that was my last one.
Yeah, I think my last like social thing, and I've spoken a bit about this before, but it's just this weird thing that people now have the need to support a political party and just like only support them and don't criticize them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Weird. Anyway, lastly, I just wrote 2 things down about skincare because I'm really into skincare, and the first trend that I don't get or / don't think is necessary is having like 1 billion steps in your skincare routine.
It's exhausting.
You know what I mean? It's also a ton of money, so much money. And like realistically, I mean, I like skincare. I like to I'll like wash my face and I'll put on like a certain serum, and then I'll put my moisturizer on. If it's the daytime, then I'll put an SPF on. By the way, if you're not wearing SPF, then your whole skincare routine means nothing. So just think about that. So yeah, you don't need like 10 steps in your skincare routine, and it could also just like agitate your skin.
Yes.
So I'm like, is that necessary?
There's a stage where I was like, am I doing it wrong? Because everyone has these elaborate skincare routines, but I don't think I am.
No. You can like do whatever feels right for your skin. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with like adding a serum or adding an exfoliator or whatever. But when you're doing everything all the time, it's like, do we need to?
I get you.
And then lastly is this weird obsession with natural skincare, because what a lot of these brands will do is that they'll kind of dupe people into buying their products, because they'll be like, there's no toxins in this and there's no chemicals in this, and I'm like, okay, first of all, everything is a chemical. Everything is a chemical. Secondly, like, just because something is natural doesn't mean it's good for you. Would you put poison ivy on your face? No, you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think a lot of products in general are often branded that way, but it's not the reality.
It's not the reality, and it's also like you just kind of coercing people into buying this brand because they feel like, oh, well, if it's natural, it must be good. And then they're just buying the skincare that's just really subpar, because often like it'll just have really average ingredients.
And I would rather than listen to a social media influencer because we have such different skin, like dermatologists are literally medically
like they'll literally tell you what is good. And like I've often just said to my dermatologist, like, oh, like what do you think of this certain ingredient or this certain product? And he's like, yeah, it's good, you should, like, it'll be fine for you to use this. And I'm like, cool, then I'll do it. If you can hear any sneezing, that is my father.
I love it.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yes.
But yeah, natural is just a weird word to use for skincare.
Yes.
Anyway,
I think that was it. Yes, I know this was a lot of ranting and venting, but maybe in the future, if you want, let us know. We could do an episode on like trends and things we really are for.
Yes, because there are actually a lot of them that I like.
Yes, and we are generally happy people.
Very happy.
All of these things don't make us want to crawl into a hole. Crawl into a hole. But we're just not 100% for it.
It's fun to chat about things we don't like.
Exactly. Yes, that's it from us, guys.
All right. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.